Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. Going to be going over rocking technique and adding it with the Running Man today. Just these two for now, because this is something that can be a little confusing. I know when I started I was always like, when do I add my Running Man into my rocking technique? So I'm gonna go over that, where you can add it in, and yeah, so let's get started here. Okay, so you guys know the rocking technique already that we did with just solely T-steps, right? Like this. Okay. Now, if you didn't know, I was going to save this for a later video, but it's okay. It doesn't matter if you learn this right now or in a later series, because I am going to do these in series. I'm going to do another batch after this, more advanced, and as we move up, we're gonna move on to a little bit more advanced like techniques and drills and stuff like that. But with the Running Man, you can rock with the Running Man also. Okay? So you can rock with the Running Man just how you move left and right in this figure eight or this half moon windshield wiper pattern. And basically how you do that is just start out by doing your Running Man. Okay? Now turn to your left. Now turn to your right. Okay? You can use the arm surf like this. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you a couple tips and tricks here that I'm going to use my water bottle for this. There is something called an X Running Man. It's basically when you start to you want to change the angle up. Let me show you first. So here's what a square Running Man looks like. And when I say square, I mean just your typical Melbourne Running Man, just square. Feet side by side as they come down like this. Okay? Now you can have your Running Man also inline. So that means that each foot will be in line with the other foot. Okay, so watch. So you see how my feet are now in line with each other? They're not right. They're not this. It's not, I call that square, or the normal position. But now they're in line. Okay? And you see how my body is my hips are starting to go out a little bit? Okay? This is some secret sauce right here. Now, take it a step further and it's known as an X Running Man, okay? Or cross your feet over even wider. So watch. You see that? Okay, so we went from square Running Man, as I like to call it, normal Running Man, to inline, okay, because your feet are in line, right? And then to the extreme crossover, or the Running Man like this. Now, see how my body is swaying? Okay. Now, this is also this type of Running Man, I believe, and if you are watching this and you know it, please confirm down in the comments. I believe this does belong to another style of shuffle, but, for the purposes of this video and for the rocking tutorial and demonstration, and also the way that I've learned to rock out with my technique, I take little bits and pieces from other styles of dance. So there's other types of styles out there. There's California style, you got Melbourne, Cali, you got Malaysian or Mas or Malay, they call it. There's also like a Brazilian style. So that might be actually from one of those styles, and I do apologize if I didn't name the correct one. Like I said, whoever that crossover running man like this, I want to say, if anything, it would be Malaysian style, because that's a whole other style. I don't want to get into that and confuse anybody, but it's okay. We take little bits and pieces from different dances and we add them in. But this crossover running man, this X running man, that I take that and I add that into my rocking technique. And I've also seen some of my OGs here, or some of the OGs here in the valley, add that like crossover as well. And let me show you why, okay? Because when you actually start to rock out with it, look, this is how it's going to look. Let me give you two examples. Here's what it looks like with a square running man moving from right here to right here, okay? Let me begin. Okay, you see how it's just square? Nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with the way it looks. But if you want to change up your style a little bit, and you want to change up your angle, try the X running man, or the crossover, you know, where you go, well, the one I just demonstrated. So watch here, it's gonna make it look completely different. Okay, so you see how it made me look like more, like I was like, just more like flowing, right? You know, using my arms too, of course, and my hips are, you know, you're almost like skiing, you're like swaying back and forth, okay? So it adds so much more like texture to your running man when you do that. And if you want, you can even maybe do that inline running man. Let's see what the one that looks like inline would look like, okay? Okay, so you have a few options there, okay? So there's like 3 options. And of course you could go even wider than that, but just know if you go even wider, your balance is going to start to, you're going to have some trouble. It takes a lot of balance to really cross over like that, and you don't want to deviate too much away from the running man, okay? So again, how do you do it? If you want to add this into your rocking, right? And we'll get to the point where I add it to the T steps, okay? We'll get to that. But how do you get into that? Like, how do you do that, right? So what I do, I take a water bottle. This has been passed down to me from my OGs, I keep saying mine, not the OGs here in the valley. And I've seen other communities do it as well. So basically, you want to land, say, your right foot on the left side of the bottle, okay, and then left side on the right side. So if we just stand here in the neutral position, okay, and you start up with your 1 hop, right, because in the running man there's 2 hops or 2 slides, depending on how you want to go about it, with power or chill. So here we go. So up 1 hop, and both legs, both feet are on the left side of the water bottle, okay? Come back up for the neutral position again. 1, 2. Okay, so you're hopping on both legs, or both feet will land on the right side of the bottle now. Now I'm going to do it a few times just so you can see, okay? Neutral, and here we go. Clearly you can see my feet landing on each side of the water bottle. Let me do it this way so you can get a side view. Okay. clearly you can see my feet were landing on each side. So, you notice that when you come up, one position, two position, you sway to the left. Come up to the neutral position again, down on the other side, and you sway to the right. Your hips and your body are going like this. So watch. Okay, so you hop back into the middle or the neutral position, sway to the left. Hop back up on that foot, middle position or so, hop to the right. So imagine you have a triangle or a V. Okay? 3 points. Middle point is the bottom of the V. 1. Left side is the top of the left side of the V. Back to the V at the bottom. Now to the top right of the V. Okay? So it's going to be starting boom, 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 boom. You know, or if I'm facing you right now, it's going to be middle, you know, the bottom of the V, top left, back to the bottom, to the right. So it's going to be boom, 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 boom. Okay, so it's gonna look like a V. So again. Okay. Now I'm gonna drink some water because I am thirsty. Okay, so again, you know, look at my hips and look at my okay, and you see, again, you get to pick how wide you want to go with it. Okay, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now remember, both feet are landing on each side, okay? I'm going to remove the water bottle again and just go. I'm just going to rock with it again like this, okay? Alright, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So, now that you understand that, you can literally just rock out with your running man too. The rocking technique you can do with just your running man. Okay? If you want to add in your T-steps, just figure out or feel out that moment of when the knee comes up. Remember what I said, universal transition point. Anytime you want to do a trick or a move, for example, if I'm doing T-step, when that knee comes up, I'm ready to go into a running man. See? I'm going to go back into a T-step as my knee comes back up, down, down, down. Okay? Now, let's get into it. When you gotta pick one or the other. Are you gonna start out with T-steps? Or are you gonna start out with running man? It's your choice. Feel the music, whatever it's telling you to do. Me personally, if it's a really hard drop in the beginning of the song, I will start out doing like a heavy running man. But also sometimes I like to do a nice, like, heavy back T-step and then just get into it, okay? It doesn't matter which way you start, okay? There's no set way to rock, remember that? It's just a technique used for this dance to help you put everything together, okay? So, for example, I'm just going to start with T-steps, okay? And just watch when my knee comes up when I go into the running man, okay? Alright, here we go. Now I'm gonna running man. into a T-step. Back into a running man. Back into a T-step. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. The whole idea of it, you know, it gives it an illusion. You know, you're going like this, back and forth, doing the running man and the T-step. You also see I'm opening up my arms. I learned this from a good friend. It helps with the sway. So watch. I open my arms up like that. You can pretend you're like Superman or something like that, ripping off the shirt or the cape or whatever. You know, or you can have your arms out kind of like an airplane. Okay. So let me give you an easy sequence to practice. We'll do 8 T-steps, and then we'll go into a running man, okay? Because I know this is probably like, it's probably confusing, or it could be confusing to some of you. So we'll start with this sequence of back, front, cross, or open as I like to call it. Switch, back, front, cross, or open, and then into a running man, and then you see how I start rocking with it. I start moving with my running man. Okay? So I'm going to count it out. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you pivot back to the other side, see how my knee is up into the running man, and I'm moving with it again, okay? Okay? So you can almost kind of go in a figure 8 with your running man in a smaller. So all I'm doing is just this, right? But I'm turning right here. I'm sliding my feet back, and I'm turning my body. Okay? I'm going to do this for a minute just so you can really soak it in. Let me do it from behind. Okay? So, this is just to show you guys that you can do this, you can do the rocking technique with your running man and with your T-step. And if you want to combine them together, again, all you have to do is find that transition point of when it feels right to you, or when and that's going to be, well, like I said, that'll be up to you, but when that knee comes up is when you will go from this and you see now I'm going into my T-step. I kind of slipped it in there. A little sneaky, a little fast, but let me do it again. Running man to T-step, and then back to running man. Watch. Okay? So I'm moving with it. I'm moving with it. I'm going to do a back T-step right now. When you see my knee comes up, T-step, 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 back into a running man. Using my arms. Looking left, looking right, okay? And again, you notice with my running man, I'm going in like I'm trying to go in a figure 8, just like my, just like the T-step technique when we're going like this. turn your body, turn your body. Okay, same thing with a running man. You're using it to slide back each time. And that's helping you go in that figure eight, or maybe you want to think of it as kind of side to side, but you're turning your body. But you see, I'm doing so much more than that too. I'm like going all the way back here. I'm turning my body as much as I can with the running man. Okay. So, yeah, I think I did a pretty good job at explaining that. Just know that you can combine them both. You can do a little bit of running man. And it doesn't have to be the X running man, okay? That's just to make you more like flowy, to make you more. If I wasn't crossing my feet, it would look like this, okay? It would be very square, okay? I wouldn't really have much range. It would be a lot more tighter. You know, I would be a lot more limited. But it's when you're able to cross your legs over and then slide yourself back a little bit to give it that extra illusion or look that you're sliding. Okay, that makes it look so much more saucier, so much more like, it looks like a really cool like flow, okay? So, that is that. Next video, I will do a demonstration with music, of course, and I will be going T-step into running man into T-step. You know, doing both of the, that drill consistently, and then I'll start doing a running man, T-step, running man, okay? So you get to pick and choose how you want to layer this, how you want to go about putting them together, okay? And, you know, if you're doing this dance, you know, and you're showing someone, make sure you add in a little bit of everything, okay? You don't just want to be doing T-steps, okay? And you don't just want to be doing running man, because if you're doing just running man, and you're saying that's the Melbourne Shuffle, remember the Melbourne Shuffle primarily consists of the almighty T-step. Okay, so do not neglect the T-step. And I know it's a lot of fun to do that with the running man as well, to do that, to do sort of that figure eight like pattern, or that, you know. So don't neglect either one, but try your best to add in both, because this is the dance. It is what it is, okay? So once you learn how to combine both of those, then you can start to add in other moves and spins, kicks, slides, glides, hat tricks, everything that we've learned. And that'll probably be the last video for this series as well, of me combining everything together that we've learned up to this point, okay? So, now that you have all this in mind and you've seen it, you know, don't be too hard on yourself if you can't do any of this at first. Like, practice the rocking drills that I've taught you guys, where you hop back in a straight line, okay? And then when this gets easy, start to turn that foot tighter and tighter, and, you know, make it shorter distance and shorter distance, and then, you know, go wider with it as well, and really crank your arms. And it's going to help you with your rock, with that figure eight. So, yeah, that is that. I don't have anything more to say on that. If someone wants to chime in and say something about the running man, because I know that with the traditional running man, Melbourne running man, it is just side by side. You know, that crossover running man, you know, where it's like that, or the X Running Man. Where it's like that. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you gained some knowledge from this one. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, if that helped or if it didn't help. And I will see you next time. Peace.